Blessings to all of you virtuous people. Today, I would like to invite you all to a discussion on the Dhamma. The topic is, how does taking care of the mind affect the way we live our lives? The mind is supreme. The mind is the leader. Everything is accomplished through the mind. If we have a mind that is bright and clear, that is beautiful and good, then good thoughts and good ideas will naturally emerge from our minds. And that is an indication of our own sphere of wisdom. Now, many of you may not make the connection to the topic of the source of our thoughts, the origin of our thoughts. But in Buddhism, it is stated very clearly that our thoughts, they come from our mind. What our mind thinks depends on what kind of current is flowing within it. If there is a current of merit, a current of wholesome qualities in our mind, it will lead us to think good thoughts, speak good words, and do good deeds. But if our mind is clouded and murky, not bright and clear, it will cause our mind to become sorrowful. And when we have a current of sorrow residing in our minds, it will cause us to think gloomy thoughts, speak gloomy words, and perform gloomy actions. So we must understand that the source of our mind contains both the wholesome or kusala dhamma, the unwholesome or akusala dhamma, and that which is neutral, neither wholesome nor unwholesome, which is called abhyakata dhamma. Therefore, we must focus on the current of our mind, on our feelings, on what is inside our mind. Our mind is like a game of musical chairs. There can only be one thing, one state of being in our mind at any one time. If our mind is in a wholesome state, we won't be able to think of unwholesome things. If our mind is in an unwholesome state, we won't be able to think of wholesome things. And if our mind is in a neutral state, it isn't thinking about things that are wholesome or unwholesome. No merit is created and no demerit is created, for instance. So if we want to develop our minds, we must arrange for the best thing, which is the current of Dhamma, the current of auspiciousness, the current of wholesome qualities, to enter our minds. When we have arranged the current of our mind so that it is in the current of Dhamma, our thoughts will also be in the current of Dhamma. Our words will be Dhamma, and our actions will also be within the path of Dhamma. Therefore, I want all of you to focus on the idea that what we train, what we think, it all depends on where the source of our thoughts comes from. Once we adjust this, once we align the angle of our mind and align the current of our mind, our thoughts, words, and actions will then proceed in a wholesome direction only. When we go about our business, our duties, or our daily lives, we just need to keep our minds meritorious and wholesome. Keep them bright and clear, in line with the goal of Buddhism, to abandon evil, do good, and purify the mind. When we sustain our minds in this current of Dhamma, our thoughts, words, and actions will then guide our lives along the path of Dhamma, developing our minds, words, and actions toward what is always good and beneficial. So I ask all of you to recheck every time. When you think, speak, and act, ask yourselves where the source of the current that creates these thoughts comes from. May you be blessed.